Hello everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a black ink comparison, specifically the black inks that are Copic friendly. In my last video I had done a haul video and I had purchased the new SSS stamp Intense Black ink, and what it's intended to do is be Copic friendly, but supposed to be good for alcohol markers or Copic markers or Spectrum or wherever Copic friendly, or I keep saying Copic friendly, alcohol based marker that you may have. That's what they made this ink for. So I wanted to compare it to the ones that I already knew that were already alcohol marker based friendly anyway. So I've got to compare them, I've got the Memento Tuxedo Black and I've got the My Favorite Things Hybrid Black Licorice ink. And I'm going to be doing a quick comparison of this so you can make the decision on whether or not you want to go ahead and purchase the SSS stamp in case you were looking for another ink for your alcohol markers. So I've got just my little wood stamp here. This is just a basic hello stamp that I thought it would be easy to use and ink up and do the comparison. And the cardstock that I'm using is my normal, my favorite white cardstock, whether I do stamping, excuse me, whether I do stamping, and I do all of my coloring on this cardstock, and I really do find that it's pretty good quality for all of that. So this is the Paper Tray Ink Stamper Select White cardstock. So that's what I'm using today for our ink comparison. So I'm going to start off by just stamping them down and then just labeling them each one by one so you can see the comparison, as well as you can see the how crisp it is and so forth and so on. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the Memento Tuxedo Black, simply because it's the one that pretty much everyone uses if they're going to be doing Copic coloring or alcohol based inking. So I'm going to ink that up first onto my stamp, and I usually don't use wood mount stamps, but it was the easiest to me. So, and I figured it's a really good font, so I thought that it would be a really great stamp to use in our comparison today. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. So I'm going to stamp this down. And then I'm going to use the MFT. I'm just going to stamp it right below the other. And then I'm going to use the SSS stamp. Okay, so I've stamped all of those down, and you can see as I hold it up a little bit closer, you can see that probably so far the actual most intense black is the Memento Tuxedo Black. This is the Memento, this is the MFT, and this is the SSS stamp. And from how you can tell, if you really do want a really intense black, so far I would go with the Memento, and then I would go with I would go in this order as I stamped them. You know, I didn't mean to happen that way, but that's how it happened. So you can kind of see the comparison of the three. So now I'm going to go ahead and get a, most of us use clear stamps, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp up a clear stamp, and you can see that comparison as well. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I've got two different stamps here. One is a solid image. This is both stamp sets are from Lawn Fawn. So I've got a line image here, obviously, because whenever we color line images. So I've got a line image here, and I've also got a solid stamp, so you can see the two of how they give coverage and such like that. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. So this is all wood mount. I've gone ahead and labeled them, and so all of this is the wood mount. I'm just going to label it so you can see. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same in the same order. I'm going to take my Memento Tuxedo Black and I'm going to ink that up with the line image. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that down. Now I'm going to take the MFT. I'm going to try to put them as close together as I can. And now I'm going to take the Simon Says stamp stamp that down. Okay, so I will hold this up here, and if you can, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm going to try to explain it. As I was stamping, I really don't see a whole huge difference in any of the three. It does seem like that for lined images so far that the more intense black is the the last one, that the Simon Says stamp, and then I would say the Memento, and then the MFT. So there is a slight difference between the Simon Says stamp and the Memento as far as crispness, and is that a word, crispness? And then, but this one, it seemed like it stamped a little bit more clear. I don't know if that's just the way I stamped or what. It could be. But any of the three really, as far as line images and how sharp they are, I think would be good. So that is that. So now I'm going to go ahead and take a solid image and do the very same thing. So we're going to do the Memento. And this is really to compare the coverage of the three with the clear stamps that we all stamp with. So that is the Memento. I am for this going to take a baby wipe and kind of clear off some of the ink, just so you know it would be a fair comparison. So I've got the Memento. Then I'm going to take the MFT and ink that up. Just making sure that I get it full coverage. And of course this image is a little bit bigger, so I probably will do the third one on the back. So that is the MFT. Okay, and now just for on the back, since I don't have any room on the front there, I'm going to take the Simon Says stamp. That was my cat, by the way, jumping off my table. Okay, and then there's the Simon Says stamp, and I will hold it up like I did the others so you could see the difference. So this is the Simon Says stamp. Of course, it's still probably drying, but it's a quick drying ink, and it's pretty decent coverage. Then I'm going to flip it over here, and this is the MFT. It is a little bit splotchy in the coverage. And then here is the Memento, which I think is the more solid out of all of them. So, and it does have a little bit more crisp black to it, as the MFT has a little bit of a gray tone to it, if you can tell that. And then the Simon Says stamp also has kind of like a gray tone. So far, I would think if I was going to use black for solid images, clear stamps, I would use the Memento Tuxedo Black. And of course, for the last test I'm going to do is since I did these line images here, I'm just going to take a Copic marker and just kind of color in and see how well it colors with these inks, because that's, of course, that's what they are primarily used for. I'm going to do a light color because it does seem like light colors, you can really tell if it really does smear or whatever. So I've just got a Y19 Copic marker here. The only markers that I do own and do have are the Copic markers. So just so you know about that. So let me go ahead and zoom in, and you guys can really tell whenever I color about the coverage or the way it performs with Copic markers or alcohol-based markers. So I'm just going to just kind of messily do this so you can see. I think we all know that the Memento really does perform well with alcohol-based markers because that's what we use the most. So, but just for the comparison, I did want to use that too. Okay, so that's the Memento. Here is the MFT. Again, I'm not really seeing any smearing or anything like that. Whenever I do some coloring with my alcohol-based markers, I use either one. I really haven't had a problem with the MFT, so I think that's nice. And now we're going to do the Simon Says stamp ink. Again, I'm not really seeing any smearing or anything like that. It seems like it's holding up pretty well. So I'll hold it up just a little bit for you. But you can kind of see there's the Memento. And then here is the MFT. And then there is the Simon Says stamp. And they all really did perform pretty good as far as whenever you Copic or whenever you color with your Copics. I don't see any smearing really at all. I think the best one would probably be the Memento. It does hold up just slightly better, but not so much. It doesn't make a big difference or a big difference at all. I really can't tell. So, and I also wanted to mention too, let me go ahead and zoom back out. I also wanted to tell you guys too, if you do own like a tool like the Misty, I know that tool is great for going back over once you stamp down. It's great for stamping back over it to make the stamping darker or more intense, which is great. So any one of these inks would perform well, but for those of us that do not have a Misty like myself, that don't have a tool like that, we want something that whenever we stamp down with the tools that we do have, we want to get that great image, with that good quality coverage and stuff like that. So I really do feel that out of all three of these tests, you can kind of see now that these have dried that the MFT and the Simon Says stamp are a little bit splotchy, that the Memento is the more intense black. It gives a little bit more better coverage, and it is a more solid black. As far as the coloring, again, I really don't see a huge difference in all three as far as them smearing or anything like that. So any of the three are really great for Copic coloring. I still probably would stick with my Memento as my #1 choice. And then for solid images, as far as our acrylic stamps, again, here is the more solid. This is the Memento, and I really do like the coverage. It really does stamp down well. It is a little bit splotchy on the MFT, so you can see that little bit of splotchiness there, as well as the Simon Says stamp. It is splotchy and it does not give out the intense black that I was hoping for. So I would stick with the MFT or the Memento if it were my choice. That is my opinion. So again, this is just a little quick overview and review of the new Simon Says stamp Intense Black ink. They have no idea that I'm doing this video. I just wanted to do a quick comparison for you guys in case you were wondering about this ink, because I was kind of wondering myself and how it compared to the other Copic friendly or alcohol based friendly inks. So I hope this answered all of your questions. If you feel that I did miss something, please let me know and I will do another review or whatever. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.